name is Mark Dyer, and this speech is for Principles of Public Speaking. For this speech, I will be talking about how global warming is affecting our climate and that one cause of this is pollution. Many people do know about the problems of pollution, though I do not think they know the extent of it. The huge issue of climate change can be narrowed to activities that people do every day, though the lack of knowledge about what actually causes it is a problem. Some effects I am very concerned about are the rate of which our temperature is rising, polar ice caps are melting, ocean level rising, and the level of the quality of the environment that surrounds us all is becoming toxic. I want to talk about this because I love to be outdoors, especially being on a river, kayaking, fishing, or swimming. I have been noticing an increase in the amount of pollution and the trash that is washed into these rivers. Over the years, according to websites such as the Natural Resources Defense Council, the level of toxins in the water have become so high that 43% of waterways are not safe to eat or drink anything from. For these reasons, I am very concerned with climate change and want to get others involved in helping reduce pollution since the rate of change is so high. I think that some people believe that there is not going to be much of a change in their lifetime and do not really understand what happens with global warming. One example that I relate global warming to is that it is like a car in the summertime. Imagine your car in the summertime and the windows are down and everything feels fine. Now roll up the windows and it becomes very hot very fast. It becomes so hot since all of the air inside is not allowed to leave or circulate. This is just like global warming. In this example, the windows are like all of the greenhouse gases that get into our atmosphere and trap the heat in, the ozone. Once the gases are there, they block the Earth's ability to cool down, and this causes climate change. The amount of pollution and greenhouse gases that go into our environment every year is too high. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, a couple facts about pollution are that the Mississippi, which drains 40% of the land in the United States, flows into the Gulf of Mexico and creates a dead spot about the size of New Jersey. Also, 14 billion pounds of garbage, mostly plastic, are dumped in the ocean every year, and approximately 2.4 million pounds of carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere every second. With all of the different facts about pollution, there definitely needs to be some actions done with trying to reduce the amount of pollution that everybody creates. The first step that I believe that needs to be done is to educate others about what actually causes all of this pollution. Of course, many people do know the main causes of pollution is the burning of using fossil fuels, such as driving cars or trucks and different industrial activities. But it is other things that people are unaware of that they need to learn about. One example is that using electricity is a source of pollution. Electricity is generated by burning fossil fuels, and the more we use, the more we pollute. It is used to power homes and businesses every day. To generate electricity makes the largest single CO2 emissions source last year and contributed for 38% of all CO2. Most people leave a lot of appliances and power chargers plugged in that is actually using energy while not even in use. Other ways that people waste energy is that they leave their lights on in rooms they are not in and use their heating and cooling systems too much. Another source of pollution that I believe people should cut back on or stop using is toxic household cleaning products and fertilizers on their yards. This will keep the environment cleaner and better for our atmosphere. I do know it is important to keep your house looking nice, though I want to encourage others to use biodegradable products. What makes biodegradable products different is that they are capable of being decomposed by bacteria and other living organisms. Other products that are not biodegradable, when disposed of, go to landfills or get washed into the rivers and the oceans. When these toxic products or fertilizers are used, most of the time they are not thrown away in the proper manner and end up getting washed just right into the waters, polluting the fish and all the wildlife. As I stated earlier, 43% of all rivers in the United States are not safe to eat anything out of. All of the ways we pollute, such as driving around, emitting CO2, using too much energy, and killing the environment with chemicals, is a major factor to climate change. The rate at which the changes in the weather and water levels is increasing every year is scary. Though thanks to people such as Al Gore, who is very active in global warming issues, and the International Panel on Climate Change, there are many actions being done. Climate change is a major issue and has serious impacts on all of us. It can impact our natural ecosystem, food supplies, human health, forestry, water resources and its availability, and our energy use. Some specific examples of what could happen here are that the temperature rises, causing polar ice caps to melt. When they melt, the ocean level will rise and could flood many coastal regions. Another fear of mine is that the temperature will rise and the lakes and rivers will dry up. If this gets very serious, as it has in previous years, there would be a drought and a food shortage. Some simple ways that I believe others should use to reduce pollution and greenhouse gases are to be more energy efficient and stop putting trash into the ecosystem. Ways to be more energy efficient would be to do little things such as unplugging unused appliances or cell phone chargers and turning off lights when not in the room. Also, maybe put some more clothes on if you are cold and not start blasting the heater in your house right away. Another way we can reduce the rate of climate change will be to help the wildlife ecosystem clean of toxins by not doing things like pouring out gas in your yard. This kills the plants and trees that filter out bad air particles such as CO2. If we make a couple of these changes and a few more, which are not hard to do and everyone can do them, we will help decrease the rate of climate change and hopefully pass on a clean environment to others and future generations.